Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Sunday, December 12th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate, and then going over my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. So without further ado, we'll get into yesterday's recap. So on the DraftKings side, there was a lot of moving parts yesterday. Ended up with Gabe Vincent at the point guard position, $3,600 once he was announced in that starting lineup. Looking for 18 points out of him, he got to 32, so he was a hit. Troy Brown Jr. at that shooting guard position, $3,100, looking for 15, 16 points out of him. Obviously ended up in the starting lineup. He got to 23 points, so he was a hit as well. Denny Advia ended up starting without Kyle Kuzma in the lineup, $3,400, looking for about 17 points out of him. He got to exactly 17 yesterday, so he was a hit as well. Then we moved down to Marvin Bagley, $3,700. Liked him quite a bit. Ended up in that starting lineup. Looking for about 18, 19 points out of him. He got to 17.75. He was a miss. Probably not the one that killed you overall, but only played 22 minutes, 3 for 10 shooting. Just not the best day overall for him. Then Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent was not that yesterday in Jakob Poeltl. $6,600. Looking for about 33 points out of him. He got to 15. He was a miss. Only ended up playing 18 minutes in this game. I was kind of looking back at it. Looks like the game may have been a little bit of a blowout, maybe some early foul trouble, but really couldn't pin it down myself without looking too deep into it, though, overall. So a little bit of hit or miss day overall on the DraftKings side. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Kyle Lowry, $6,700, looking for 33, 34 points out of him. He got to 44.6, so he was a hit. Then we had Dylan Brooks, $6,100, looking for 30, 31 points out of him. He got to 27. He was a miss, probably not one that killed you overall. He really just scored the ball yesterday. I believe he had 25 points and 2 assists, and that was it. There was no steals, rebounds, or blocks, so just a rough day overall. He is a guy that maybe is a little bit scoring dependent at times, but usually you have a little bit of something else there with him as well. And then in small forward, we had Kyle Anderson, $4,700, obviously in that starting lineup with Jaren Jackson out. Looking for 23, 24 points out of him. He got to 39.4, so he was a hit. Then Marvin Bagley, once again, $4,400. You're looking for 22 out of him on the FanDuel side. Ended up with 18.4, so he's a mess. Kind of talked about the reasons already over on the DraftKings side. And then last but not least, Nikola Jokic, $11,200. Looking for 56 points out of him. He got to 71.4, so he was a very good hit as well. So some pretty good hits over on the FanDuel side. Those ones really carried you. The misses in Dylan Brooks and Marvin Bagley were not too bad overall, so you should still have been able to cash rather easily yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved into the injuries and play for today's slate. So there is the one afternoon game, the noon game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks. So the Bucks are without Semi Ojeleye, Wesley Matthews, Brook Lopez, Dante DiVincenzo. Looks like George Hill has a chance to be back today, but he's missed probably at least a week at this point in time with his knee injury. Then for the New York Knicks, RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin are both out in this game. So that's going to change up their rotation just a little bit. It will be interesting to see who actually ends up in that starting lineup overall. Then we move over to the main slate, which is going to be a 5-game main slate tonight. We're going to start off with the Brooklyn Nets. We got Paul Millsap, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, and James Harden all out in this game. They do have Javon Carter listed as the starting point guard or expected starting point guard. I don't expect him to end up starting. We'll have to see what that starting lineup actually ends up looking like, but there could be a little bit of value here for the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, Kevin Durant's going to look like a great play without James Harden in the lineup. Then on the Detroit Pistons side, we have Kelly Olynyk out once again, and then probably the biggest news is Jeremy Grant's out. They have Trey Lyles listed as starting. I don't think Trey Lyles is actually going to be the one that starts. I'd be kind of surprised if he was, because he's kind of that backup center as well at this point in time. So we'll just have to see what their starting lineup looks like as well. It definitely gives a bump up to guys like Cunningham and Bey in this matchup, and probably whoever ends up starting in that lineup as well. For the New Orleans Pelicans, we got same 3 guys out in Zion Williamson, Didi Lozada, and Drew Holmes once again. San Antonio Spurs are just without Zach Collins. There is a little gray line next to Keldon Johnson. Maybe he doesn't play on the back-to-back today since he is coming off an injury. Then we move down to the Dallas Mavericks, who are without Willie Cauley-Stein, and then Luka is out in this game, so obviously Jalen Brunson's going to draw that start. He's going to look like a very good play. Kristaps Porzingis always looking a lot better when Luka's not in the lineup. We've seen him have some pretty big games this season when Luka has not been able to play. Sterling Brown, questionable to play. We'll see if he plays or not. He's missed the last 2 or 3 games at this point in time. Oklahoma City Thunder are all the way healthy at this point in time. Then we move down to the Timberwolves, who just have D'Angelo Russell listed as questionable. Been banged up for a little while now, missed a couple of games. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. I would probably lean towards he's going to be back tonight, but I really don't have a strong indication one way or another at this point in time. For the Portland Trailblazers, we got CJ McCollum, Cody Zeller both out once again. Damian Lillard is questionable to play. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. If I had to guess, I say he's probably not back tonight, maybe the next game. Then we're probably looking at Anthony Simons in that starting lineup once again. We'll just have to see what the starting lineup looks like as we get closer. Hopefully we get some of that news earlier on in the day. Then last but not least, we have the Orlando Magic, who are without Michael Carter-Williams, Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, E'Twaun Moore, and Jalen Suggs, so no changes there. And then the Los Angeles Lakers, who are without Kendrick Nunn, Trevor Ariza, no changes there at all. LeBron James is probable. Anthony Davis listed as questionable, but I do assume that he does end up playing tonight since he did take the other day off. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. There's a couple big ones that we're looking for, obviously. We're looking at the guys that we already know are out, which at this point in time, we do know a handful of them, which is very nice to have, especially going into a slate like this. Then we're looking at D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard. There's a couple different injuries that we're looking at that will shape this slate up just a little bit, but should be a pretty good slate overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position. That one's pretty easy. It's Jalen Brunson, no Luka Doncic in the starting lineup. $5,300, looking for 26, 27 points. I'm got projected for 32 tonight. He's averaging 28 on the season. Not too much else you really need to say here at this point in time. Shooting guard position, I'm going with Cam Thomas for the Brooklyn Nets. $3,500, 17, 18 points is what we're looking for out of him. His season fantasy points per game is still low because he wasn't playing very much at the beginning of the season. He's been playing more as of late, and now we don't have James Harden in that starting lineup, so I expect even more minutes for him tonight. I currently have him projected for 20 points. Then at the small forward position, we got Saddiq Bey. Has not been playing the best so far this season, or in recent games, I should say, at the very least. He is $4,800, looking for 24 points out. I got him projected for 26 points tonight. Has a little bit of upside for more without Jeremy Grant in this lineup tonight. Then a power forward going with Kristaps Porzingis, $8,000, looking for 40 points out, averaging 37.5 on the season. We've seen him play very, very well when Luka has not been in that lineup. I currently have him projected for 42 points tonight, but he definitely does have some upside for more as well. Then last but not least, going to the center position, I was stuck between two guys. It was Isaiah Stewart and Jonas Valanciunas. I went with the cheaper option for the core play at this point in time. He is $5,400. Been playing bigger minutes for the most part as of late. Besides that last game, got in a little bit of foul trouble. Looking for 27 points out. Got projected for 28 points tonight. But if you go with these five players on the DraftKings side, you have $23,000 remaining. Just under $7,700 per player. So you can probably pay up for one stud if you really want to do so. And then kind of pick some mid-range values as well. Or you can do a little bit more balanced approach, see what works best for you tonight. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, at the point guard position, we have Jalen Brunson once again, $5,800. A little bit more priced up on the FanDuel side. Looking for 29 points out of him. Got him projected for 31 points on the FanDuel side tonight. Then at shooting guard, we're going right back to Josh Giddey. His price tag did not change at all, $5,500. Looking for 27, 28 points out of him. Got him projected for 29 points tonight, but we've definitely seen multiple games this year where he's gone over 30 points. Then at the small forward position, going right back to Saddiq Bey, $4,800. Same price tag on both sides. Looking for 24 points out. I got projected for 26 points on the FanDuel side as well. Like I mentioned before, Jeremy Grant's out. Should give him a couple more opportunities tonight. And then at the power forward position, we're going back to Kristaps Porzingis once again. I will say power forward is kind of yucky on the FanDuel side today, but Kristaps Porzingis obviously is somebody that offers a ton of upside. $8,500, looking for 42, 43 points out. I'm got him projected for 42 points on the FanDuel side as well, but definitely has that upside for more with Luka Doncic not playing tonight. Then last but not least, at the center position, there was really two guys that stood out, Jusuf Nurkic and Jonas Valanciunas. I went with Nurkic in this case. A little bit cheaper price tag there. He, has no Cody Zeller behind him at this point in time. $6,100, looking for 30, 31 points out. Averaging about 32 on the season. Got him projected for 33, 34 points tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these five players on the FanDuel side, you have $29,300 remaining, just over $7,300 per player. So definitely a little bit of room if you want to pay up for a stud. Definitely some flexibility to do that. The studs on the FanDuel side tonight at least are not like super highly priced, so you can probably squeeze two of them in a couple of value plays, or you could do a little bit more balanced approach. Just kind of mess around for a little bit, see what works best for you. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, December 12th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates and starting lineups throughout the day, so definitely be sure you're checking up on the news as we get closer to lock for all that information. I'll also be posting the updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock. Yesterday got a little hectic. It kind of probably about closer to 15 minutes before lock just because of all the changes that were going on at the same time. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.